Hey guys, welcome back to the final portion of Lecture 3, Getting Started, of Module 1, The Writer Prepares. Now, having finished those first two exercises, take both sets of paper and put them side by side. As you review the new information you've just created to complete those assignments, think about how you can integrate sections or even nuances of what you've just discovered into the original story to begin opening it up. What did you learn about your protagonist in this exercise that you can put into your original story to help the audience understand them? What did you learn about your antagonist that you can slip into your story to help him perhaps be more sympathetic to your audience? Take some time now away from this lecture to add that information into your narrative. You'll be surprised at how it begins to form a life of its own. And let me encourage you here, in case you don't feel like you're writing the next Rocky or Dances with Wolves your first time out, remember that was strictly a fluke for these first-time writers to create Academy Award-winning screenplays. And you know how to get to Carnegie Hall, don't you? Practice, practice, practice. All right, let's go on now and talk about 3x5 cards. A screenplay is a lean, mean storytelling machine, and utilizing 3x5 cards is your tool in your toolbox. In this exercise, we're going to boil down each page of your screenplay, whether you've written it yet or not, into a single sentence on each card. Now, some writers use this exercise and make one card per scene rather than one card per page. However, I have found that using a larger number of cards can give you a better overview of how your story is going to flow. The point of this exercise is to see what important message each page contains. And if there's no important message or story material on any particular page, it shouldn't be part of your script. Each page of your screenplay will be associated with one 3x5 card in a single sentence that encompasses the page. Your paradigm is a great place to start with this exercise. Using the numbers that you have on your paradigm can help you begin to put together a rudimentary structure, because you can use the numbers from your paradigm to help begin putting a rudimentary structure to your cards. So you already know from your paradigm what's on page 1, page 29, page 30, 45, 60, 75, 89, 90, and 120, because you've already put them together in your paradigm. Next, I want you to use elements from that 5 or so page synopsis that you're starting to create and fill out your cards beginning there. What I'm asking you to do is go run to the store, Walmart or wherever, and buy 2 packs of 100 3x5 cards. You'll need them because your answers are going to change as you build out your story. I want you to write one sentence on each page of these cards that represents one important piece of story that's going to take place on that associated page of your screenplay, whether you've written it already or not. This exercise will be one more way to visually see the structure of your screenplay at a glance. And I don't care if you're starting with just 6 cards, that's fine. I want you to put page numbers on the top of all 120 cards, 1 through 120, and stack them in order. Next, I want you to take all 120 cards and put them on a large tabletop or on the floor, or tack them to the wall if you have to, in numerical order, end to end. Now you will really begin to see the visual sense of what your screenplay looks like. You're going to have some blank cards to start with, but just fill them in as soon as you can. Remember, this exercise is to help you recognize what specific bit of information goes on each of your 100 to 120 pages. And that way, you are creating a guide for yourself, knowing what direction to write in so you don't waste time. Every page in your screenplay must count. Remember, each page equals 1 minute of screen time, just like your script. So as you fill in the cards, you will also begin to get a feeling of how your story is going to flow. This can help you begin to discern strengths and weaknesses of your story. You should also be able to see where your story starts to maybe bog down, because you are creating this visual layout of your story in a page-by-page or card-by-card form. Read your cards and you should be able to see where your story needs more detail or more explanation. Can characters' motivations be clearly seen by a third party who doesn't know your story? All of these things will become clear as you begin to fill out all of your 3x5 cards, 100 to 120 of them. And I like this exercise because you don't have to write an entire page. You just have to write down one sentence per card that encapsulates the important message of that page. It saves a little time. Now I'm going to end this lecture here. Take a few minutes or so, maybe even a few days, and fill out all the rest of your 3x5 cards. Even if you don't have something specific for all 120 pages, fill in the blank pages with a generic piece of information like the main character discovers the accused person, or we learn about the main character's past indiscretion. Anything like that, just to give you a general hint. You don't have to know the details on every card at this point. You just need information on every card that drives the story forward, revealing some piece of action or information that tells the audience something new about your character that relates to advancing your plot. Okay, you've done a ton of work, and I'm so proud of you guys for sticking with it. You should see by now that every step in the process is building more information about your characters and adding depth to your story. This is the end of Module 1, Lecture 3, Getting Started. In Module 2, we will pick up with how to build your synopsis into a treatment, and then we will begin to transcribe the story and dialogue from your treatment into the first draft of your screenplay. Thank you for working through Screenplay Basics Module 1. Please move on to Module 2 only once you have something on all 100 to 120 of your 3x5 cards. Remember that one sentence on each card can either be specific information or a generic placeholder like the main character gets a mysterious phone call with new information. Thanks again, and I will see you on Module 2, The Writer Writes. And no matter what, never, never give up. Just keep writing.